Courtrooms are supposed to be quiet, respectful, controlled, but today, it felt like the tension of the streets walked right into the building, sat down in the front row, and dared anybody to blink wrong. Mo3's affiliates were first to arrive, shoulders stiff, heads down, all black like they came to mourn and warn. They weren't loud, they didn't speak, they didn't need to. The energy they carried, it spoke volumes. The kind of presence that says, we hear and we remember everything. Then came Yella Beezy's side, cool, clean, smiling, like they wanted to be seen. You could feel it immediately. This wasn't just a court date, this was unfinished business walking in through two different doors. They sat on opposite ends, but the space between them might as well have been soaked in gasoline, and then it happened. No punches. No chairs flying, but a single look turned into a whisper turned into a word, and that word lit the room like a match. Deputies moved fast. Someone in the back stood up like they were ready to lunge. A guard reached for his belt. 3 people were escorted out. But what the cameras caught after court in that hallway was worse, more real, more personal. This wasn't random, this was a warning, and what we uncovered in that leaked footage might explain everything, because after today, one thing's clear, this beef isn't done, it's boiling, and it's only a matter of where it erupts next. The courtroom was too quiet. You ever been somewhere that just feels heavy? Like the air don't even move, right? That's exactly what it felt like when Mo3's side stepped in. It was early morning, but you could already tell this wasn't gonna be a normal day. Nobody said anything, no noise, just the soft creak of dress shoes on tile and the low murmur of bailiffs checking IDs. Mo3's people walked in like shadows. 3 of them dressed in black, faces blank, no chains, no noise. They didn't sit in the back like most folks do. They walked straight to the second row, front and center, like they wanted to be seen. You could feel the silence turn sharp. Even the clerk at the desk looked up twice. And just 10 minutes later, Yella Beezy's people walked in. See, they were different, calm, confident, posted, like they didn't have a worry in the world. You could tell the difference immediately. This wasn't mourning, this was presence. Calculated, 2 of them wearing crisp polos, 1 in a tailored blue suit with sneakers. Real, we're not here to start anything, but we're definitely here to finish it energy. That courtroom got small fast. They didn't look at each other at first, just sat down, opposite sides of the room, but the energy, radioactive, and that's when the eyes started moving. Mo3's cousin, who we'll call Rico, was already tense. You could see it, his leg bouncing, fists clenched in his lap. He looked over once, then again, and that second look was not friendly. Didn't say nothing, but his face did. Beezy's right-hand man, Trill, noticed, leaned back, smirked. The court officer clocked it instantly, even nudged his partner, like, watch that row. Now, let's get one thing straight, this whole court appearance wasn't even supposed to be about them. It was a standard procedural hearing tied to an old case related to the ongoing Mo3 situation. No major update, just legal housekeeping. But in Dallas, where rap, the streets, and reputation all bleed together, you don't need a trial to feel pressure. The judge walked in, everyone stood, but even then, nobody looked away. It was like everyone forgot they were supposed to be watching the case, not the crowd. And that's when it started. Nobody shouted, nobody threw hands. It was one of those low-key surgical moments that spiraled in seconds. Rico leaned over and said something, real low, but the kind of low that's meant to be heard. His voice didn't carry across the room, but Beezy's side heard enough. Trill didn't flinch, didn't raise his voice, he just looked straight at him and smiled, then said, loud enough for everybody in row 4 to hear. You still grieving, or you still looking for someone to blame? Who? One of the deputies stood up so fast his chair almost fell over. The judge banged her gavel once, not even on the bench, but on the desk, and gave everyone the look. But by then, Rico was already halfway up, and Trill didn't move, just stared like he wanted him to make a move. Court security swooped in quick. 2 deputies grabbed Rico's shoulders, told him to sit down now or leave. And to his credit, he sat, eventually, but his eyes never left Trill's face. The judge cleared her throat and kept it moving like it didn't happen. But everybody in that room knew this was not over, because what happened next wasn't even in the courtroom. See, courtrooms have rules, hallways don't. As court let out, The crowd started clearing. Family, friends, media people, random folks just there to say they saw something. But outside those double doors, that's where the temperature boiled. A camera phone caught it. A now viral clip, filmed just outside the building, shows both groups walking out just seconds apart. You can see Mo3's people standing near the corner of the lot, waiting, and Beezy's crew walking out cool as ever. Then there's a second clip, closer, shakier, but clear enough. Rico steps forward, says, "Say it again." Trill pauses. "Say what again?" He smirks. Security was already on edge. Court staff were rushing out, trying to get between them, and in the background, someone off camera yells, "Nah, not today." Not angry, just disappointed, like they knew how close it was to going left. They didn't fight. But they didn't walk away either. They stared, long enough for that video to rack up 4 million views in 12 hours. People in the comments going wild. This beef's still breathing. They should have handled that years ago. Dallas don't forget nothing, but the part nobody caught on video, what happened inside a locked conference room just minutes later. A court employee, who's remaining anonymous, claimed that during a quick hallway debrief with security, one deputy said, "It's only a matter of time before they run into each other without us here." And when asked if anything should be reported or documented, the same deputy allegedly replied, "You can't report vibes." And that, right there, says everything, because this isn't just about court or music or even street talk anymore. It's about history, real tension, real loss. Real names that still hold weight in Dallas neighborhoods that don't need Google Maps to tell you who stood where when the shots rang out. And Mo3. He may be gone, but the feelings tied to his name, very much alive. Beezy, he's denied involvement a million times, hasn't been charged in connection to the case, but that hasn't stopped the streets from making up their own versions of the truth. And when emotions are high, facts move slow. And today, those emotions spilled into a courtroom built to keep things quiet. And now that everybody's seen the clip, now that it's viral, this ain't staying in the courtroom anymore. The clip didn't just go viral, it exploded. By noon, it was on every major blog. Say Cheese reposted it with the caption, "Court tension goes up between Mo3 affiliate and Beezy's team." And the comments? Thousands deep within minutes. Fan pages were clipping reactions, zooming in on every facial twitch like it was the Zapruder film. Reddit threads, TikTok stitches, YouTube breakdowns. It was everywhere. And the reactions? Divided like never before. Mo3 fans were standing 10 toes down. They lucky it was court. Outside would have been different. Rico really held back. Proud of him TBH. They still playing with that man's name. Disgusting. The love was loud, emotional, loyal, but Beezy's people, oh, they weren't backing down either. Y'all always blaming Beezy like he got charged or something. Dude sat there and smiled. Real pressure don't gotta yell. Mo3 camp always doing the most for attention. It was digital war, and every minute that passed, the comments got hotter. And then somebody threw gas on the fire, Sype. A known Dallas promoter who's worked with both sides over the years tweeted this: "What happened today was real grown man restraint. Both sides grieving different, but folks better stop poking." Baby, the timeline erupted. People were tagging artists, quoting lyrics, pulling up old beef records. Fans were asking if there was new diss music coming. Blogs started DMing court reporters, trying to find out if anyone got banned from the building. But here's where things took a crazy turn. Just hours after the video dropped, an old Mo3 freestyle started trending, one where he raps, "If they ever cross the fam in a courtroom, I won't talk. Just wait for the hallway." The fans started clipping that line with the court footage like it was prophecy. It became a trend on TikTok, people playing the clip with Mo3's bars in the background and captions like, "He warned us. He knew this day would come." And then, one of Yella Beezy's older songs got dragged into it too. A bar from a 2020 record where he says, "I don't do back and forth with the ones that ain't breathing." Whew, people started dissecting every lyric like it was a clue. Was that a diss? Was it about Mo3? Is this why tension's still high years later? And then a new voice entered the chat. OG Dallas rapper Mr. Luciano, someone who's been respected in both camps, tried to calm things down on IG Live. He went live late that night and said, "These young men carrying a lot of pain. I knew Mo3. I know Beezy. This ain't the legacy either one of them want. We gotta stop giving the internet our scars to play with. Stop making pain a trend." He meant well. His tone was real, heartfelt, but you know the internet. One viewer screen recorded a moment where Luciano said, "Ain't no side 100% innocent in any of this." And that right there triggered a new wave of heat. Mo3's fans weren't having it. They flooded the comments. "How dare you speak on the dead like that? You trying to be neutral for streams." Mo3 kept it real. Y'all just scared of the other side. Even Luciano's own post got filled with pick a side messages. Meanwhile, Beezy stayed silent. No posts, no tweets, not even a story. But that silence said everything, because when everybody else is shouting and you're just watching, it either means you plotting or you laughing, and some fans believed he was loving it. Especially when Beezy's cousin, who was there in court, posted a blurry pic of his iced out watch with the caption, "Wasting no time on people who already lost." No names, no tags. But everybody knew what that was about. The comments were instant chaos. Are Rico gonna see that and react? Bro still subtweeting like it's high school. Y'all want this to get bloody again? And that's when real fear started creeping in. Because this wasn't just internet noise anymore. It felt like the old beef was back. And this time, it was dressed in courtroom clothes. And then came the rumor that had everyone on edge. A leaked text thread from someone claiming to work at the courthouse said this: "Security was briefed this morning. They say if both sides show up again, they're being separated at the door. Judge don't want no." If true, that means the legal system feels the danger too. And they should, because right now, the city is tense. There's talk of retaliation, not in the street, in the music. Fans think both sides are about to drop something, either a diss, a subtle verse, or even a cryptic freestyle that reopens the pain for everyone watching. And behind the scenes, the pressure is unreal. People close to Mo3's family say they're begging the affiliates to chill, to walk away, to not let one moment in court restart a war that already cost too much. One source claimed his mom told someone, "We already lost one son to this. I can't lose another." Meanwhile, Beezy's camp is reportedly tightening up. Deleting old tweets. Limiting who posts from his team's IG. Staying quiet, but not backing down. And now, rumors are flying that someone recorded more than just what we saw, that a second clip exists from inside the courthouse before the tension exploded. Allegedly, a mic picked up a side conversation that caught someone saying, "They think we forgot, but funerals don't erase disrespect." If that clip drops, it's over. Not physically, but in reputation, in narrative, in rap history. Because what started as one stare down in court is now a full-blown media war, dragging in fans, family, and OGs across Dallas. And the craziest part, this might have been calculated. Some fans believe Beezy's team knew exactly what would happen the second they walked into that courtroom. That the looks, the timing, the presence, all of it was part of a silent message. We still here, we still breathing, and we not hiding. But Mo3's people, they ain't backing down either. He may be gone, but we still standing, and we don't forget nothing. So now it's a countdown, not to a fight, not to a trial, to whatever happens next. A song, a video, a new story, a new witness, a surprise live appearance. Because after what happened in that courtroom and what went down in the hallway, the silence is louder than any diss track. And in Dallas, silence never lasts long. By now, everybody knew what happened in that courtroom wasn't an isolated incident. It was a pressure point, and when that pressure hit, everything underneath started shaking. The clip was still trending, blogs milking it, TikTok edits going crazy, and even people who weren't fans of Mo3 or Yella Beezy were suddenly tapped in, picking sides like this was a versus battle with real life stakes. But while the internet was screaming, the industry was panicking. Because see, what the public didn't know is that two major Dallas power players, one promoter, one former label exec, had been trying to keep this exact moment from happening for months. Low-key meetings, whispered warnings, don't bring that energy into court type convos. But now, it was too late. And that's when we got word about the meeting. Sources say just hours after the courtroom footage went viral, a call was made between two OGs in the Texas scene. One close to Mo3's camp camp, one tied to Beezy's. The goal, a sit-down, private, off-camera, no lawyers, no press, just grown men business. The location was allegedly a low-key lounge spot outside the city, neutral territory. They met in a back room. Hush, hush, 6 chairs, 3 people from each side, and for a minute, lights, it looked like peace might actually be possible. But here's where it went left. An insider told us the second the Mo3 side brought up Beezy's court demeanor, how his people smirked, how one of them allegedly whispered he deserved it. The energy in the room flipped. One of Beezy's affiliates reportedly said, "That ain't no disrespect, that's survival. Y'all playing victim after playing predator." And that line shut the whole conversation down. Mo3's guy stood up, tossed his water bottle across the table. No punches thrown, but the deal, dead on arrival. The room cleared within 5 minutes. And now, both sides knew. It's back to Cold War, not violence. Not yet, but energy. Energy that follows you into interviews, music videos, backstage passes. Energy that turns regular events into potential powder kegs. And if you think the industry wasn't watching this unfold, think again. One Texas-based artist who stayed neutral for years suddenly posted this cryptic tweet. "We tried. They don't want peace. They want pain with applause." Fans went wild trying to figure out who he was talking about. Some said Mo3's camp. Others blamed Beezy's people. Either way, the divide got deeper. And then, the leak happened. A security officer, allegedly from inside the courthouse, leaked stills from the official surveillance footage. Not the viral phone video, the real camera feed, the one with angles the public never saw. And in those stills, you see everything. Rico standing, deputies grabbing his arms, Trill smirking, but also balling his fists behind his back. And someone else, an unnamed man sitting behind Beezy, whispering something into his ear right before it all popped off. Zoomed in, it looks like he says, "If they want smoke, let them cough first." Whew. Fans froze when they saw it. Some were like, "See? This was planned." Others were like, "This confirms nothing. They were baited." But one thing's for sure, everyone in that room was ready. And now that footage is out, it's a problem. Because lawyers for both sides are allegedly furious. Sources say they had already filed a motion to request the full footage stay sealed. And now, it's on the internet. No context, no explanation, just vibes, and a whole lot of speculation. And here's where things get super calculated. Someone created a fake social media account pretending to be a court clerk and started posting behind the scenes audio, only it wasn't real. The voice was AI. The captions were fake, but fans ate it up like gospel. One of the fake quotes. "We had to separate them or someone was leaving on a stretcher." By the time the account was deleted, it had 80K followers in 3 days. But the damage already done. People were reposting, reacting, and repeating that quote like it came from the judge herself. And now even the local media had to step in, issuing statements like, "No physical altercation occurred. Tensions were high but under control." Too late. The streets had already decided the truth. And speaking of the streets, a well-known Dallas DJ dropped a preview of an unreleased track, an unreleased Mo3 verse. Old but raw. And in that verse, Mo3 says, "If they smile in court, they hiding guilt behind veneers. If they laughing at pain, they closer to hell than they appear." Fans called it chilling, blogs called it prophetic, but the energy, dark. And it didn't help when Beezy posted his first story since the courtroom mess. Just a picture of a chessboard with one piece tipped over, no caption, just the image. Y'all already know, the internet went nuts. He calling it checkmate. Is that supposed to be Rico? He just declared war. And what came next might have confirmed it. Mo3's cousin, yes, Rico, posted his own story. Blurry mirror pic, shirtless, tattoos showing, and the caption, "Dead men don't play chess. They leave the board in blood." Whoo, whoo, whoo. Now it's not just tension, not just courtroom drama, it's symbolism warfare. And the fans locked in like it's Netflix season 2. People creating timelines, analyzing bar for bar past songs. mapping out every name, every lyric, every comment, trying to see where it goes next. But here's what nobody expected. One major Dallas event, a private celebrity party scheduled for next month, just got canceled, quietly. No press, no drama, just an email to invitees saying, due to unforeseen tensions, the event has been postponed. Guess who was on the guest list? 2 members from Mo3's camp, 1 artist signed to Yella Beezy's label. It ain't hard to read between the lines. And that's where we are now. A courtroom moment that was supposed to stay between 4 walls, now echoing across the entire city. The tension is everywhere, and everyone, from fans to rappers to the feds, is watching. What started with one look, one stare, one whispered word, has become a whole new chapter in the Mo3 versus Beezy legacy, and the scary part? The next move might not come from a courtroom, it might come from a beat. By the time the weekend hit, the energy in Dallas was thick enough to slice through. Courtrooms were quiet, but the streets, buzzing like electricity in a thunderstorm. And just when people thought the drama might start cooling off, it spiked again, because a call leaked. And baby, this one shook the room. But hold up, before we get to that, let's talk about the fallout, because the tension from court had started spilling into places nobody expected. We're talking local radio shows refusing to play songs from either side to keep the peace. Promoters quietly canceling gigs. One music video shoot with a neutral artist had to be shut down after someone spotted a car in the area with Mo3 stickers in the window. That's how bad it got. But then, somebody unexpected stepped in, Pastor Mo3. A respected figure in Dallas who's officiated funerals, community events, even rap peace meetings in the past, took to Instagram Live to speak directly to both sides. His message? This ain't legacy, this is loss. You can't honor Mo3 by risking Mo4, Mo5, and more. And to Beezy's side, silence don't make you strong if it lets pain grow wild. Over 30,000 people watched live, and the comments were flooding in. This, the first real voice of reason. Someone gotta protect these young dudes from themselves. He kept it too real. For a second, it felt like maybe things could simmer down, but then the leak happened. A private phone call, recorded, timestamped, and posted anonymously, popped up online, and the voice on the other end, allegedly Rico's, talking to an unknown person about what went down in court. In the call, he says, "Nah, I ain't swing. But if they smile one more time, I'ma do more than look." Then the second voice, possibly someone close to him, just replies, "Wait till that footage drops. Let the world see how fake they is." Baby, boom. Blogs reposted it within minutes. Titles like Rico confirms post-court beef still active, Mo3 affiliate ready to act, and this war ain't done yet dominated the algorithm. And what happened next? Pure chaos, because that same night, a mysterious diss track snippet hit SoundCloud under a burner account. No names, no tags, just a black cover and a title, Section 7, but the lyrics undeniably aimed. Smile in court, but your heart pumped jelly, you ain't ready. Say my name, and you better stay steady, my brother gone. But my aim heavy. Whew, internet detectives were working overtime. One fan slowed the audio down and insisted it was Rico rapping. Another claimed they recognized the producer tag from someone who used to work with Mo3. Nothing was confirmed, but it didn't matter. The streets felt it was real. And the message, crystal clear. But here's where it took a sharp left. Yella Beezy finally posted. For the first time since the courtroom face-off, he broke his silence. And it wasn't through music. It wasn't through a caption. It was just a video, no sound. Just him walking through an empty parking lot, looking at the camera, and tossing a chess piece onto the ground. Again with the chess. But this time, fans noticed the piece wasn't tipped over. It was the king. That small clip did more numbers than his last 3 singles combined. The comments were wild. King don't fall. What, checkmate again? He playing the long game. And then, as if the universe needed more fuel, a verified rapper from Atlanta who had once collabed with both Mo3 and Beezy posted a now deleted story that said, "Some beefs ain't music. Some beefs is curses passed down." What does that even mean? Fans didn't know, but they started speculating immediately. Some believed he was referencing a generational beef, suggesting that the Mo3 Beezy tension wasn't just about 2 artists, but rooted in deeper street politics that go way back. And if That's true, no court judge can untangle it. But back to the leak, because here's the real bombshell. An unverified but extremely convincing voicemail recording started circulating late at night. In it, a voice sounding like Trill, Beezy's right hand, and is allegedly heard saying, "We ain't gotta touch 'em, let 'em crash." Court showed everything. Keep quiet and let them drown. Whew. True or not, fans immediately took it as confirmation that Beezy's camp was playing it strategically, staying silent, playing cool, but watching every move, waiting for the other side to make a mistake. And Mo3's people, furious. One affiliate posted, "Strategic silence still equals war. Don't get it twisted. We loud when it count." The tension's not just in court anymore. It's in the streets, in the studios, in the interviews not given, in the tracks not released. And now, even brands are backing off. A fashion collab involving a designer who worked with Beezy recently paused production. No statement. Just delays due to timing. Another local festival reportedly cut both artists' teams from the invite list. The message from the industry, too much heat, but the fans, they love it. They're waiting, watching, refreshing their feeds every hour for the next post, the next live, the next diss, the next mistake. Because the thing about this kind of tension, it don't fade, it builds. And right now, it's not just beef, it's legacy warfare. So now we're here. The courtroom's been cleared, the hallway's gone quiet, but the tension still breathing, louder than ever. We've seen the footage, heard the whispers, watched the posts get deleted, reposted, and broken down frame by frame like rap beef turned into a documentary. And the truth is, this ain't just about a moment in court, this is about legacy. Mo3's name still echoes in the city. Wow. His pain? Still alive in the ones who loved him. His presence? Still heavy in every stare his people give when they see a smile that feels too casual. And Beezy, say what you want, but his silence has been strategic. He's not playing checkers, he's watching, listening, waiting, and depending on how you see it, that's either the smartest move or the scariest one. But now we gotta ask, will this explode in music or something worse? Are we seeing the next chapter in the Mo3 versus Beezy story, or the final straw that breaks the silence? And what about y'all? We wanna hear what you think. Was this courtroom moment a real warning? Was the leaked audio legit? And who's really holding back? The side that talks or the one that doesn't have to? Drop your thoughts in the comments, don't hold back, and make sure to like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the second the next post drops, the next diss hits, or someone slips up, you already know we'll break it all the way down. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, and stay watching, cause Dallas ain't done speaking. We out.